here. Scott, did you lock the car? Because Finn's in it.
What?
Beautiful car. It's got a couple little dents in it, but he says he's not. Did you have any side rails on this to get in, or?
Yeah, and then I ripped them off.
Okay.
Off road. This truck has been used.
Okay.
For,
well, 180,000 miles isn't too bad.
Yeah, you know, it's got the big dings that it has are the two under the taillights that the previous owner was just like, I think he was like 90, and he was selling it because he had dementia and he'd drive it places and forget where he went.
Oh gosh.
So I bought it bone stock with 118,000 miles with a huge packet of service records that's in there.
Okay.
And then from there I did the
lift and
the tires and all the little trinkets it has. I didn't even want a new truck. I just I was thinking like, this one's getting up there in miles. We have the baby now, and then the 2017 Super Duties came out, and they're gorgeous.
You had to have that.
So I went to look at them, and that was a little bit out of my grasp, but that one, I keep going. So.
Well, we got this one, but it's a 2011, but we really like it. It's been really a good truck for us.
Is it the EcoBoost? Yours?
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah. They're awesome. We have two of the 2016 EcoBoosts.
Is this sign going to take off on us?
Oh, it might. I have more. Or I could stop and get it.
I'll just pull it.
Pretty easy going. So I wrote in the ad, it would probably benefit from some new bushings up front.
Okay.
It's kind of like driving a boat.
It's a little mushy.
A little mushy.
Yeah.
37-inch military tires don't help with that either because they're kind of mushy.
Yeah.
And then I got rid of the track bar and the sway bar up front so it would articulate farther. So that adds to the mushy. It's not a Porsche.
Well, whenever you have a truck and you have this kind of load, the bushings go it seems like we exchange ours in our van
all the time.
like every year and a half or so.
Yeah, you have to.
So.
And then I also, one of the big issues with these trucks, if you intend to use them off-road somewhat regularly, is the locking hubs. They have the vacuum sealing locking hubs up front. And those vacuum sealing systems inevitably get cracks in them.
Okay.
So they won't seal anymore. So, and those hubs are difficult to lock manually. So what I did was went through G2 and got some of their manual lockout hubs that are so smooth, you gotta feel them when we get out. And I also upped the stub axles from the little factory 28 spline tiny ones to these big 35 spline axles. And I had the unit bearings machined out and the needle bearing that supports that stub axle replaced with a bushing that doesn't explode like those needle bearings do.
Right.
So the front end 4-wheel drive system is on point.
It feels like the shifting's really smooth too.
Yeah, well, it's kind of firm right now. It softens up when the truck warms up. The scan gauge is right there. It'll tell you where the temperatures are.
Okay.
I was really big on, so the 6.0 is kind of an infamous motor. And I knew this, and I knew all the issues that it has and how to avoid them. So the big thing is to run that scan gauge that's sitting there in the center console.
Right here.
And I would always monitor the engine oil temperature versus the coolant temperature. That's called your delta, and it helps you assess how well your oil cooler is working. And I'm gonna keep that though. They're like $150.
Okay.
Because the oil cooler is kind of like the top of the snowball of problems that happens to 6.0s. The 6.0s came from the factory with the sand in the molding is what people have determined. So that's why I had the coolant filter kit, and you change that once a year or something. I've got most of it out, and I just flushed the coolant again.
Okay.
That sand clogs up your oil cooler. When your oil cooler isn't cooling efficiently, your exhaust gas recirculation cooler goes bad, and then it starts putting steam into your turbo, and it just unleashes all these problems that the people with 6.0s have. And it's just because they're not smart about it. So
right. Well, they don't know.
Exactly. You have to be educated on this stuff when you get a diesel truck like this.
Yeah.
So that was a long way to say I now have the Sinister Diesel bulletproof oil cooler in here, and the bulletproof EGR cooler. So instead of these little mesh screen junk that came factory, there are these TIG welded steel tubes in the EGR cooler, and it'll never go bad again.
Okay. What is this bracket for?
That was for a race radio. The antenna's up here too. We run a race team off of the little truck in the garage.
Okay.
So that's where I mounted the race radio.
Is that a Sandra?
It's a Toyota Tacoma.
Oh, okay.
Toyota Tacoma frame and cab.
Huh. Well, this son of ours is he lives in St. George, Utah. So I don't know why he wants this, but he likes beefed up. He bought a Jeep that was beefed up about 4 years ago, and I think that's just getting too much miles on it.
Cheryl, Riley is 8, and they got married a year before Riley was born. So that Jeep's
older than, yeah. Anyway, but his wife does a lot of business of wood, wood business. So he's going to be doing some hauling, and I think he would like to have a truck. So.
Oh, this thing, like if my wife wasn't making me get rid of this, I'd keep it. This truck climbs anything. So if he ever finds himself in the need to go directly up a rock, he can.
Well, certainly if you tell him that, he will try, because
it will.
we had a Montero, which there was not geared to go anywhere but on the road with slippery rainwater or whatever. And because it was four-wheel drive, I guess without our knowledge, he took it places that, probably up in these hills here. So when we had the motor replaced, the guy said, your motor mounts were broken. We're like, how did that happen? He's like,
I know how that happened.
Yeah. So,
I loved this truck because I have a toy hauler in the backyard, and then I also have a flatbed that I tow the race truck on. And this doesn't do it like the new trucks, but it did it so much better than a half-ton truck like the F-150s.
Right.
And then when we got there, if we needed a chase truck for the race truck, to go out and recover it somewhere, this would go there. This goes anywhere.
Okay. Well, he does want to get a boat sometime, so maybe. But we've been pulling our boat with
the F-150.
Yeah. But I think ours is a 1-ton, isn't it? It's a 4x4.
That's they're on paper. They're technically, by definition, the newer F-150s like yours and ours are 1-ton trucks.
Okay.
But the way they're rated, the 150s are half tons, the 250s are 3/4 tons, and this is a 1-ton truck.
I see. Okay. Well, you're not hurting my feelings.
Yeah. Well, because
if it pulls the boat, I don't care.
The payload on when we bought that F-150, I was shocked. The payload is closer to 2 tons actually that you can put in the bed legally.
Huh.
It's insane what these trucks are rated to do now.
We had a Ford van, the E350, and I could put that boat behind it, full of kids, and take it up the Cajon Pass, and it didn't even blink. It would just haul, and I loved it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I got it built. I built up because I was able to order it. I built up the transmission. I built up the battery and the radiator. I had all those beefed up so that. Does
the van have the V10, or is it a 7.3, or is it diesel or gas?
It was gas.
Yeah, the V10. Yeah, that's awesome.
It went 400,000 miles.
Yeah,
and
they will.
We just saw it in Lake Elsinore. I still sold it for $2,800.
Awesome.
And we see it in Lake Elsinore every once in a while. A church bought it.
Wow.
Because it had a bunch of chairs in it.
Yeah.
It wasn't an extended van. It looked really nice. It was really a nice van. Miss it. Is this right street?
Yep.
Okay.
You got it. I'll talk forever.
Well, this is good because I'm recording it, and Alan's going to have all kinds of information. And hey, you know what? We may get him down here. He never comes to visit us because he's a truck driver. He drives a semi, and he actually brings buildings onto property. That's what his work is, and so he's busy, and he drives for a living.
imagine.
Now, what do you do for work?
I just got out of the Navy a little bit over a year ago, so I go to
okay.
school full time on the GI Bill.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Greatest thing in the whole world.
Yeah. More people need to
Yep,
do
this
that.
is it.
What did you do in the Navy?
I was a corpsman, so I did combat medicine,
So, what are you doing for school then?
business.
Okay.
There's no civilian job that would have me treating the kind of trauma I was treating regularly in the Navy.
Where were you?
I did 6 months in Afghanistan, but the rest of the time was in 29 Palms.
What is that where Jake was in Afghanistan?
Yeah, he was in Afghanistan.
Did he work? Did he work the?
You said Navy? Oh,
Don't
yeah,
forget the
corpsman,
parking brake.
yeah. You said corpsman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was Navy in Afghanistan.
Did
So
you
he's
say
a
you
corpsman
worked-
or a CB or?
No, he's a doctor.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's a flight
Ran the-
surgeon
Yeah, flight surgeon.
Awesome. We worked
Yeah.
in the Navy.
Yeah, we worked with some of them. I was in a forward operating base, so like we were in this little terribly shitty place that a lot of people got blown up in, and then the flight surgeons would come on the CH-53s or the Hueys or the 46s, whatever, and medevac guys.
Really?
Yeah, it was
So you understand why people have post-traumatic stress syndrome? Did you have it?
well, according to the VA, yes, and that's partly why I got that trip.
Yeah. Well, I knew a guy that he basically said I don't have to work for the rest of my life because I knew the right paperwork to fill out when I got out of the.
I was so hesitant to like doing that because I was like, I'm fine, I'm fine, and my wife was like,
Plus, you're a Republican, right?
oh, very, yeah. Yeah.
We don't
And,
usually take advantage of the government.
Yeah, and that's what I felt it would be doing, and
Yeah.
my wife was like Jensen, you're fucked up, and I'm like, no, I'm not, I'm fine. But it's like it's little stuff like.
But
I
she'll
wouldn't-
know
like,
it,
I
and
wouldn't
you
have
may
sat-
not.
I wouldn't have sat in the front because I would. There's no way I'd have you sit behind me, like just like little things like that, you
Yeah.
know. And so finally one day I went and talked to the psychiatrist at the VA, and she's like, yeah, you got some issues.
Yeah.
And yeah, now I'm pretty well set.
Well, you
Worked out.
deserve it. You
Thank
deserve
you.
it. You gave a lot for our country.
What made you decide to get out of the medical field?
So I love trauma. Love it. I hate whiny people. So there's no civilian job that you don't have whiny people and do have a lot of trauma. It's kind of like that's kind of like the Reader's Digest version of it. I worked in the intensive care unit at Balboa for 2 years.
What years?
2011 to 2013.
Did you know a Dr. Jade Camp?
No.
Yeah, he was there during that time.
Oh, cool.
And then my other nephew is there
He was out at
now.
the submarine
Huh.
base.
Well, Brayman is there now.
But he was at the submarine
During
base
that
at
time, he was at the
Mhm.
over at Point Loma. over there.
Yeah,
So,
that's a cool base.
yeah, he had a really cool job, and now he's paying for it. He
Yeah.
kind of took his residency later because of that job, and so. But Jake actually he was there at that hospital for those years. And
It's an
anyway.
impressive hospital.
Now he's working in Utah at a hospital in their emergency room. So
Cool.
he gets paid quite a bit of money.
Yeah, and if you're patient and smart, you can.
Yeah.
I'm neither of those.
Right. Well, it sounds like you've got your head on your shoulders straight, and you
Yeah.
know what you're doing.
Thanks. Yeah.
So-
If I get out, well, I'll finish school in about a year and a half, 2 years.
Where are you going? Where are you going to school?
Right now, I can go into National University because they had a campus on base in 29 Palms, so it's just a really easy transition for me. But I'm working on transferring to Redlands.
Oh, okay.
So,
Oh, closer.
yeah, wife works for Amazon Logistics. She's a manager with them.
In Moreno Valley.
Mm-hmm. And if I can follow her route plus all my other benefits, like we'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll buy plenty of boats.
Yeah. Well, they're great.
Yeah.
Is there any
That's
other
cool.
questions you have, honey?
I don't have any questions.
We buy it.
Awesome.
It's a little high for my arthritic knees, but
yeah, my wife's 5 feet tall.
that's gotta be tough.
No arthritis yet, but
Who knows?
there's some hopping. Yeah, with
Yeah.
a baby, like putting a baby in here, like
Yeah.
for me, it worked out. But also,